Thank you, Madeline. I've been told it's a quiet microphone, so if you cannot hear me at any point, just raise your hand. Oh, that's probably better. So I just I'm going to echo a few of what Father Shanley said earlier, and just congrats to all of the graduates here tonight on your achievement. Especially, I know I've seen some familiar faces that have been in my classes, and so just an extra congratulations. Through the packed days with work and school, the long nights, the canceled plans, the deadlines, the questions, the many answers, and papers and exams and group projects. I would say congrats, you're done, but we'll be discussing that in a few minutes. And thank you to everyone here who has supported these graduates, family and friends, faculty and staff. I teach about how important teams are, and this is a moment where that is absolutely proven true. So first, a little bit about what I teach at the School of Continuing Education. The Leadership and Diversity course is understanding what it means to be a leader of a successful, diverse team, and understanding why you should value diverse teams in the first place. It is understanding ourselves, our workplace, and our society when it comes to some pretty difficult topics like bias, stereotypes, white privilege, sexism, ageism, gender. And yes, we discuss all of them. It's uncomfortable. But as we say from the very first class when we go over our norms or our guidelines, it is about being comfortable with the uncomfortable. In every class we discuss these topics, learning from each other along the way. I know I learn from my students, and I like to say that the students help teach this class. By the end of the semester, the definitions of who a leader is and what diversity means has expanded. We learn the importance of communicating with each other and those who are different from us. We see how we are not so far apart when we really listen to each other. We learn to reflect on situations and develop self-awareness. We learn that we can all be leaders, and that may look different to each of us. I sometimes think of what happens in this class is the same as when you look at a 3D image. At first, you just see the image in front of you, but when you see the image hidden within, it's hard not to see it any other way. You also learn that some folks have seen what we think of as the hidden image the whole time. This is a sentiment that students will reflect on and share with me either in their final plans or by email. This year was no different. One student who's not in this room, so very anonymous, said, when I began this semester, I truly thought I would not get anything from leadership and diversity. But he goes on and said, through the class activities, that my views were convincingly changed and my mind opened. And I also got this gem. I liked your class more than I thought I would. It's also been really nice to hear tonight, and I know that I love coming here as well, because even a year or two later, I hear from students that I've had in my class that still have a book on a coffee table, or really have taken this to heart on that it's changed their viewpoint. So now back to the point on whether you are done or not. In my class, I tell the students that they're on a journey through the semester, and on the last class, I say they're really at the starting line, because this is now the time that you get to apply what you've learned. And also, what made you successful in the classroom. When I was reflecting on this, the phrase I came to is, just remember your rituals. I like observing how you form bonds with each other, helping each other out before class, motivating each other in class, and checking in on each other after class. You came up with habits that made you successful, like all those notes you took, the many reflections you had. In our life, it is practice that helps us grow and succeed. Going to church, having regular social time with family and friends, working out, finding ways to help each other. Remember the rituals that help you succeed here, and find ways to build that into your everyday life. All right, now I want to take you through a little activity. My class, I see myself as more of a facilitator in class, so we kind of have a lot more discussions and prompts and activities than most classes. So you're gonna experience that tonight. So I want you to just take this moment in, this dinner, what it's meant to both the graduates and family members that are here, friends, the people that have supported you, the faculty and staff. So thinking about celebrating tonight, thinking about this Sunday. What does this mean to you? So just think about that. Now, think about one word or phrase to describe your thoughts, feelings, or emotions. Take a few seconds. Everybody have one? Nod. You're gonna need one. Yeah. Okay. All right. So now take about the next minute to share that word or phrase with people at your table. Go ahead. All right, about 10 more seconds. This is an excellent time to also pass around the dessert. Okay, so now that you've shared your words, who would like to shout out or discuss a word that they had or phrase? Who's brave? Amen. What else? Joy. Freedom. Empowered. Proud. Anticipation. Proud. Times 2. Tired. I heard tired. Yeah. Excellent. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for indulging me and reflecting on this experience, and I hope this stays with you. So my 2 words that I have for this moment, the words that come to me are role models. And here's my reason. Both of my parents got their bachelor's degree after I was born, started about when I was 2, and finished about when I was 7. So this period of time they talk about now where you had said tired, they were exhausted, they worked, they traded me off, went to class, they had a lot of family and friends that were taking care of me. And I don't really remember too much about this time, but I remember the graduations. And I remember those moments of celebration with family and how proud my parents were. And so I just think that is something that to just think about, that this is just a start. And it's just like this moment. And so education was a priority in my family and for me as well. Even when I was thought I was pretty good with a career, I went home to visit my parents, and after a meal, my parents turned to me and said, "So when are you getting your master's?" So know that what you have accomplished is a ripple that's going to have an impact later on in your life, your children's lives, and those around you. So you are now at the starting line, and we are all very excited to see the impact you will now have. Congratulations once again.
Thank you, Kirtley. We have invited 3 members of the graduating class to speak with you this evening. These student speakers were nominated by faculty, peers, and staff. Each of you has a unique story to tell about your journey as an SCE student, and we wish we had time to hear from each and every one of you. Our first speaker tonight is Benjamin Kowalik, who's graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Fire Administration. He came to SCE from CCRI and currently, as you saw in the photo, serves at the West Warwick Fire Department. Ben has been an enlivening force in SCE, coming to our theme dinners and book discussions, always enthusiastic and ready for the next thing. So Ben, please join us.
Try not to bore everybody. So I'll get right into it. I didn't know what to expect when I came to SCE. I'd been a lifeguard for many years in Westerly and experienced a lot of interactions with a lot of URI students for way too many summers. This resulted in me having a preconceived notion of what the whole college experience might be like. I had not had a traditional college experience like them. My dream to become a firefighter took me to CCRI, the Rhode Island State Fire Academy, as well as many other certification classes. I'd always felt like I had been left out of the fun of the college life. So my first day of class, I quickly realized SCE would not be a traditional college experience. At first, I wasn't sure how I felt about that. I wanted the fun, the long nights of studying, the dorm community, friends to gripe with about the excessive amount of homework a particular professor had given. Nevertheless, my captain in the fire department persistently urged me to go get my degree. So I continued. I learned. I had new experiences. I understood more and became a student of life. I learned to love learning, despite not having the traditional college experience, which I had so previously desired. Over the 4 years that I spent at Providence College, my life continually took roller coaster turns as it tried to figure itself out. Dramatic life-altering events that took place and made me into the person who stands before you now. But all throughout, I had school to turn to love, and to feel like I was making myself a better person every day. My desires had changed into embracing who I was as a person and the path that had taken me there. Slowly, the realization of how fate had taken me to this point in my life began to sink in. I was not meant for what was considered a traditional college experience. I was meant for something so much richer, something that I would truly appreciate so much more and be able to gain so much from. The persistence of my captain telling me to continue took me down my own path that changed from uncertainty to success. His persistence became my persistence. My continued desire for knowledge has crafted me into the confident, strong, and happy person you see in front of you this evening. That is something you can't put a price on. Well, I guess I can. Looking back now, I'm filled with gratitude for the events and experiences that have led me to all this today. Thankful for every experience that shaped me. Thankful for every person who helped me or told me to never quit. Thankful to the naysayers who told me I'd never amount to anything and that maybe I should just try something else. Thankful for the unimaginable education that I received here that I will have for the rest of my days. And most of all, thankful for what these blessings have done to help mold me into the person I am today. As I continue on my path in life, I'll always remember PC, the place where fate brought me, the place that gave me so much enrichment and made me forever grateful. Prior for life now, and looking back, I wouldn't have it any other way. If you'll indulge me for just a little longer, I'd like to share with you my favorite quote from the infamous Rocky Balboa. Let me tell you something you already know. The world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are. It will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it. You, me, or nobody is gonna hit as hard as life. But it ain't about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. How much you can take and keep moving forward. That's how winning's done. Thank you.
Thank you, Ben. I now invite our second student speaker to the podium, Stephen Jensen. Steve began his studies in business administration in the spring of 2007. He works as a project supervisor in construction and so brings in a unique perspective to his classes from his work, and also a unique perspective to his work from his classes. Steve?
Well, I changed my speech about 5 times on the way to the campus tonight. I wanted to say that, I said this earlier to Madeline, my older brother called me up this morning and he said, Stephen, I was talking to my wife and I told her that you were graduating college today. And he said, "You're not just graduating college, you're graduating from Providence College. You should be proud of that." Now, I thought, that I have to thank my wife, so I didn't know whether I was going to go first or last with thanking Jeanette. So I decided to go first, right? So Jeanette, without you, there is no me, okay? And I stole that from a movie, and I'm not gonna cite what movie. There's no work cited today. So I want to reflect on the first class that I took at Providence College. It was the history of Rhode Island with Patricia Robb. That's where I fell in love with the city of Providence. And what I learned is that Providence was the second colony in the nation. So there was a day I had taken a summer class, and I was walking across campus with some athletes, and I told them that Providence College is the second colony in the nation. And they said, "Really?" I go, "Yes." And I said to them, "Not only do you represent Providence College, but you represent the second colony in the nation, and you need to be proud of that." I want to recognize two students, and for the interest of time, I'm only really going to talk about one. I want to say Evelyn Collado's name. Now, Evelyn Collado, we forged a relationship together because we both lost our parents at an early age. So I had 3 classes with Evelyn, and I'm sitting next to her, and one day I just say, I lost my parent when I was a kid. And she's, calm, and she takes a little step back, and she says, "I lost both my parents when I was 6 years old." So I thought to myself, how does that happen? How do two people, decades apart, right, different areas of the country, end up sitting next to each other in a class, right? That doesn't happen by chance, and that's something that I learned here at Providence College. Now, Evelyn, Evelyn ends up putting herself through college. She comes to Providence College, and she ends up on a billboard in '95. I can't believe that, right? She comes here from Central America at 6 years old and ends up on a billboard at '95. That's what Providence College does for people. They help us. There's 2 professors I want to talk about, and they're in this room. Marsha Harrop and Richard Kless. And for the interest of time, it's you, Richie. You're my favorite professor. All right? So there's something that I learned from Richard, and it's just to let it fly. Don't be afraid of who you are. And I watched Richard over and over in class say he's from Brooklyn. Well, I'm from Foxborough, Massachusetts. I grew up right down the road, and here I am. And there's another thing that I learned about in Richard's class. He taught theology, is the love for Jesus. All right, and Richard taught me that. And you don't have to be religious to believe in Jesus. You really don't. I'm 98.5% sure that Jesus was on this earth. And the reason why it's 98.5%, because you have to leave room for new information. And I learned that in a science class here. 98.5%, Richard. Now, there's 2 people I want to talk about at SCE, and it's Ian Nagle and Jennifer Andrews. Now, there's only 3 words I got for you, Ian. I love you, and that's it. What you did for me, unbelievable, totally. And Jennifer Andrews, you don't give yourself enough credit, I swear. What you've done, you made me part of the family here, and I really appreciate it. There was one time that I played Santa Claus, and I'm coming across campus. I got this itchy-ass beard. I'm coming across campus, and students are waving to me, and they're yelling, "Hey, Santa, hey, Santa." A freshman student comes running out of the dorm, and he says, "Hey, Santa." And I said, "I'm scared. I never played Santa in my life." And he puts his arm around me, and he says, "You'll do fine, sir. You'll do fine." And he walks me all the way to the door from the campus, and he opens the door for me, and he goes, "Good luck, Santa." So I'll never forget that day. I thank you for that, for giving me that. And lastly, I want to talk about a song, an Elton John song that I heard in the campus bookstore. It was a verse that says, "I thank the Lord for the people I have found." Well, I do. The people that I found here, whether it was the security guard, whether it was Joe in the bookstore, whether it was the students or the faculty, Providence College has changed my life, and I'm sincerely grateful for that. Thank you, and good luck to you all.
Thank you, Steve. Our third student speaker this evening is Elsa Campos. Elsa came to SCE after completing her associates at CCRI and taking a few years off to raise her family. While progressing in her career, she felt she might benefit from continuing in her education, and she's now graduating with a bachelor's in leadership development. Elsa?
Can everybody hear me okay? Too loud? All right, Stephen, I agree with you. I changed my speech like 100 times until this afternoon, so I'm going to apologize beforehand. I try to keep it within 5 minutes as best as I can, so I may be a little bit over. Okay, so good evening, fellow students, family, friends, professors, faculty, and staff. I'm honored and humbled to have been asked to speak to the graduating class of 2019 School of Continuing Ed, share my personal experiences and reflections, my long but valuable, well-worth journey here at Providence College. I want to share a little bit about my family background with all of you first. I am one of 3 daughters of Dominican Republic immigrants who migrated to the United States over 40 years ago in search of a better life for their family. My mom and dad, who are here with me today, continuously insisted and explained to their daughters that if we wanted greater opportunities in life and a chance for a prosperous future, the idea had everything to do with going to school and obtaining a college degree. This was their wish. Sorry. My mom and dad did not graduate high school and did not have the opportunity or the means to go to college. They reminded us that a diploma was not just a piece of paper. It represented the gateway to endless possibilities that could lead us to a better and more stable way of life. It represents our accomplishment, something that no one can take away from you. My parents believed in the American dream and the possibility that this country could provide to all of us. I always knew that obtaining a degree was important to my parents, and of course, this became important to me. And if anyone knows me well, I'm not afraid to put in the time and the commitment and the effort in studying and obtaining good grades. However, life happens, and the choices we make take us in different directions and paths. What started off as a promising road to a higher education over, I hate to say it, 25 years ago, was immediately interrupted by life events, and it took me away from my promising future. But I never lost my focus, my thrive. I never forgot my parents' words of wisdom. I never gave up. Now, as a mother of 3 and working full-time in a demanding but prosperous work environment, I can envision the benefits that going back to school could provide to me and my family. I knew I had to go back if I wanted to grow within the company that I work for. I knew that this was my path, my gateway. I wanted to be a great role model for my children and pass down the wisdom that my parents shared with me. The starting point is always the hardest. You can clearly see all of the obstacles, all the challenges, which can blur your vision and your focus from being able to see more positive side of the journey, the possibilities and the opportunities. The support I have at home really helped me get through this time. Being organized, of course, helped me tremendously. It was important for me to learn how to balance all of these responsibilities. I've often been asked, how do you do it? And I'm sure you all been asked the same thing. How do you balance work, family, and school? And when I think about that question, my response is always the same. I really don't even think about it. I just do it. I know I have to get it done, and that motivates me. I started the journey at Providence College over 4 years ago, and I have not looked back since. Being enrolled in the Leadership Development Program has helped me learn so much about myself and those around me through constant reflection exercises and being more self-aware of my behavior, my actions, and how this can impact or influence others. I want to thank Professor Erickson, who's not here tonight, for the many aha moments, and Deb, you can contest to that, I was able to discover through the leadership program curriculum. I will never forget those days of meditation, persistent reading, reflection, discussions on learning on how to lead you as an individual first prior to establishing a mindset of leading others. I am thankful to him for giving me the opportunity to co-teach a leadership class with his guidance in my last semester. I feel blessed, and I have having him as one of my professors and a mentor. So thank you, and I hope this gets to him. The leadership program has strengthened my involvement with my community. It has helped me become a more positive contributor within my household and my workplace. But overall, it has given me the ability to make the conscious choice of living what I believe is a better and more gratifying way of life. Through this journey, I believe I found my purpose, and we all know in leadership we have to have a purpose. And my purpose is to help others see and realize the positive within any obstacle or adversity that they may face through continuous support, motivation, and encouragement. I've learned to be present and in the moment. I've learned not only to be compassionate towards myself, towards others, but also towards myself, be patient, understanding. I'm thankful to be a member of the Student Alumni Organization, thank you, Jennifer, because I love helping other students in hopes to make their time here as delightful as it was for me. I'm honored to have been recognized as an Aetna Lambda inductee and grateful now to be a member of the board of directors at the nonprofit organization Samaritans of Rhode Island. They're dedicated to supporting our Rhode Island community and families in the battle against suicide. If it were not for Professor Sarah Grobman's class leading teams project, part of the leadership development program, I would not have had that opportunity to work with other students, organize such an amazing and fun charitable event, which allowed me to make this connection. I promise I'm almost done. I want to thank my mom and my dad for instilling great morals and values within our family, showing us that through hard work, dedication, and responsibility, we can make anything happen. Thank you to my sister, who's here today as well, for being such a great role model and leading the way to being the first in our family to graduate college. Thank you to Providence College School of Continuing Ed, all of the professors for motivating, encouraging, and pushing me to do better for myself and my family. The PC community is very special to me because they have shown me how much they care about their students. The journey was not easy, but the destination was worth all the sacrifices, and I'm ready for the new opportunities that will come. I'm at my end. My final thought, and I want to share with all of you tonight something for you to remember. There's no age or time in learning. It's just a matter of wanting, doing, remaining positive, accepting the challenges, believing in yourself that you can, because anything is possible. We should all be very proud of our journey, our stumbles, our accomplishments that has brought us here tonight. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2019.
As you see, there are many unique stories, and you all could share each of your individual stories of your path to completing your degree. But there's also themes that emerge that everyone encounters, that of unexpected paths that take us in different directions, persevering through many obstacles to get to our goal, and also the people around us who made it possible to achieve that goal. I think you would agree that returning to school has challenged and changed you in ways you may not have anticipated, and it's also impacted those around you. Few adults can succeed in college without support, encouragement, and understanding from family members or friends. Think about the time you were able to finish a research paper because someone else volunteered to pick up the kids, or you delayed a household purchase so you could buy your textbooks for this semester. So at this time, I invite all of our students to take this opportunity to thank the family members and friends who are with you tonight who helped make this evening and your education possible. And now for the final awards of the evening, the SCE Service Award and the Illuminations Award. The SCE Service Award, Jennifer, would you come up? The SCE Service Award recognizes an SCE student who has contributed significant time and effort to the SCE community. We are blessed with many students who, even in the midst of their busy lives, actively participate and donate their time and energy to SCE. This award was created to recognize their efforts, and tonight we recognize Elsa Campos for her outstanding contributions to SCE. As you have heard, Elsa began an SCE in 2015, a few years after completing her associate's degree at CCRI. Very quickly, she became active in the school, serving on the SCE Student Success Group, and more recently, the Student and Alumni Organization. She has assisted with new student orientations and the evening in Friartown. She's not only been active, but she's been a true leader amongst our students. As she mentioned, after completing the leadership development class in her major, she was invited by Professor Erickson, the academic director of the program, to come back the next year and serve as a teaching assistant for the next group of students. It was the first time we had had an SCE student serve in such a role, and it's indicative of the generous and generative approach that she has demonstrated through her time at SCE. So our deep felt thanks to Elsa for her contributions to the SCE community. And now the presentation of this year's Illuminations Award. First, I would like to invite last year's recipient, Lou Colon, to introduce the award. We also want to recognize Lou because this past fall he was awarded the 2018 Outstanding Student Award from the University and Professional Continuing Education Association, a national organization in continuing education. So he's made quite a mark on the continuing ed world.
Hello. Oh, all right. All right, hi everyone. First, let me start by saying welcome and thank you for having me. So I must admit that I was up here last year and I was thoroughly thrilled that I have an opportunity to speak again tonight because some folks last year actually liked my speech. And then they told me I couldn't use last year's speech. My intent in my delivery tonight is to kind of break down the award a little bit and to give you my take and then to leave you with a small message. First, this award is unique to the School of Continuing Education. It was created a number of years ago to recognize the accomplishments of SCE students both in and out of the classroom. Our students have to make many sacrifices to pursue their education and to undergo significant transformations along the way, intellectually, personally, and professionally. Through the Illuminations Award, we recognize students who embody the unique and often challenging journey of the adult learner and who inspire us through their determination in their success. Those are characteristics that the award embodies. Forgive me for just looking straight down, guys. Now I would like to give you my take on the award. I'd first like to congratulate all of the graduates that are here tonight, coming this year, obviously, and I'd like to commend the School of Continuing Education for selecting one single individual to receive this award. It must have been an incredible feat to try and select only one person that embodies these characteristics. The reason why I say this is because I think that if we all close our eyes and think for a moment, I believe that everyone or every student that is in the School of Continuing Education embodies these exact characteristics. I believe that everyone who's a student has grown intellectually, and they've grown both personally and professionally, and I'm confident that they've all had to overcome a unique and difficult time through their journey. Additionally, I'm confident that at one point or another through their education, they've had to inspire people through their own perseverance, should I say, excuse me. The reason why I want to give you my thoughts is as to how it pertains to everyone in the room tonight is because last year I was the recipient of this award, and having received this award, I was completely overwhelmed at being selected and truthfully didn't know if I was even necessarily worthy of the award. So I wanted to tell whomever the recipient is this year that you are absolutely worthy. Okay? And in closing, I'd like to say that as I pass the torch today, I'd like to thank the School of Continuing Education one more time for having awarded me this prestigious honor and in helping me achieve my life's goal. The message I wanted to leave with you tonight is that if anyone gains anything from me tonight, it is to please accept this Illumination Award with your fellow classmate and allow the Illuminations Award to light your future paths and to always keep the fire inside burning. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight, guys. God bless. Go Friars.
We are delighted to present the Illuminations Award to Stephen Jensen. Steve has demonstrated a unique level of commitment, perseverance, service, achievement throughout his time at SCE. He began his studies in business administration. He began his studies in business administration in the spring of 2007, taking one course at a time, but I think a wonderful result of this is he's been able to immerse himself in his learning and savor the experience. Steve is the embodiment of a scholar. He thinks deeply about what he's learning and finds to connect the learning of one class with not only his other classes, but with all aspects of his life. He's enjoyed professional success along the way because of his academic pursuits. However, and even more importantly, he's become a true scholar and thinker. In his own words, the construction guy who reads Shakespeare. Another reason why Steve exemplifies the lifelong learner is he works diligently to help his fellow students get the most out of their experiences. He's enjoyed it so much, he wants others to enjoy it too. He's been a student rep at orientations, the info sessions, evening at Friartown, and as you heard earlier, he was even Santa Claus. All to enrich other students' experiences here at SCE. It seems he takes as much pride in his peers' success as his own, and for all of these reasons, we're delighted to recognize him with the Illuminations Award this evening. Congratulations, Steve. So we've reached the end of our celebration. It's not really the end because we have the whole weekend and we have Sunday still to come. I'd like to invite first a graduate at each of the tables to take the centerpiece with them to commemorate your evening here and your education at PC. As tonight's celebration draws to a close, we congratulate our students on behalf of the whole Providence College community for your accomplishments. We are all so proud of you. We wish you much success and happiness as you move forward with your lives and your careers and your learning. And we look forward to seeing many of you on Sunday, but we congratulate all of you. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Good night.